Here are 3 ways that you can tell if a man is on a down low. Number 1, he is using your relationship as a cover up. He can't stand you and he's very jealous of you because he's fighting inner demons. He's mad that he can't come out the closet the way that he wants to. So you will be punished in that relationship because he is struggling with his identity. He targeted you and he chose you because you are going to help him clean up his identity. You're going to help him with his fake facade. See, he wants the community and his family and friends to believe that he married a gorgeous woman. You're super successful. It has nothing to do with love and totally about his image and tricking people and deflecting off the fact that he's a closeted homosexual. But what's going to happen within that marriage? He's going to bully and punish you. Whether you're living with him, y'all are engaged to be married, y'all just living together, y'all married, whatever the situation is, he's going to bully you in that relationship because number 1, he's envious of you. You are an actual woman. You got boobs. You got a nice booty. You got coochie. You're dressed fly. You look good. And when you walk into the room, you're going to get the attention of men. He wants the same attention as you from men. And because he can't come out the closet and live in his truth, you'll be bullied and punished for that. Number 2, he spends a lot of time with one specific homeboy. I mean, he spends a lot of time with this homeboy. They always run in the streets together. He's got a whole woman at home. Y'all are married, y'all are engaged, y'all are living together. Why is he spending more time with his homeboy running the streets than he does with you? That's because they're fucking. Yeah, they're fucking. I said what I said. Do the investigation and come back and thank me later. No man is supposed to spend too much time with his homeboy. And he got a whole woman at home. He's more loyal to his homeboy than he is to you because they're lovers. Number 3, pay attention to the way that he makes love to you. The way that he handles you. He's going to handle you like a man. And you're going to notice that the sex is going to become robotic. Ain't nothing wrong with a little rough sex here and there. But he's going to handle you like a man. He's going to be robotic with it. There's going to be an emotional disconnect. You got to pay attention to the pattern. He's been with the man and he wants to go back to being with a man. And he does not enjoy sleeping with you. You can tell it and you can feel it. You got to pay attention. Be safe out here, ladies. It's up that you tell me, when did you suspect that your man was on the down low?
So about 2 years into our marriage, me and my ex-husband, we were not doing well. It was toxic. One day I needed to use a laptop, but mine was broke, and a lot of times he would let me use his. He wasn't home on this specific day. I go to open his laptop and his email is open. I guess he must have forgot and not realized and just shut it down, but normally he would close his apps out. I go in the email and I see that there are these emails with a strange subject from Craigslist. Something I had to read and open because I was like, oh no, who is he sending messages to? I click on it and it is messages where he's responding back and forth to a man from Craigslist that my ex had reached out to. This man is openly gay, and the man was asking my ex-husband, have you ever been with a man before? Have you ever tried these things before? My ex responds back with, no, but I've always been curious about it.
Now, I took a break from TikTok, and I came back to see that women finding out their boyfriends is a trend. So what did I do? I took it upon myself to do my own investigation, my own study. If you know me and you follow this page, you know I do not usually have a beard this big. Bitch, I went undercover. And went to these straight men to see what the fuck is going on. Is this shit real? Bitch, it is. So I did my little straight voice. What's good, bro? Why were they wrapped around my motherfucking finger like a Tootsie Pop, Tootsie Roll, whatever you want to call it, bitch, they want a Tootsie Roll. It worked.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing a story with all different creators sharing their experience of finding out their partner is living a down low lifestyle or living on the DL. So guys, I never personally have a boyfriend or a husband on the down low, but I did have a friend that I worked with for a very long time that was on the down low and then finally decided to come out. And when he did, he was dressing up as a woman right away. And guys, it was so crazy that this man was in his 40s with 2 boys, happily, well, the wife was happily married, and he was on the down low without her knowing. And then he decided to leave his family and start dating as a gay man and or transgender, because he was starting to dress up as a woman. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much again for clicking on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Here are some signs that your man might be gay or on the down low. And don't come for me because this is coming from the community. So let's get into it. I'm not even going to count because I'm probably going to lose track, because I can tell you a lot of signs that a man can be gay. But I'm going to start off with saying if he's super homophobic. Okay, because a real man is not going to care if, like, a guy is gay. So if he's bothered to be around like gay people or like the LGBTQ, and he's being like super homophobic by using like the F word, he's probably gay and on the down low. Okay, here is another one. If he only likes these specific bed positions, and one of them is doggy, where it's like face down, booty up. And if he likes oral, which he only likes to get oral but doesn't want to like eat you out, he's probably gay. This is another very common sign to where if he cheats in every relationship, like there's no way you can have and been with this many women and you've dogged every single one of them and cheated on every single one of them thinking that's a flex. Because I know some men thinking like they want to have the upper hand to be like, oh, I cheated and that's gonna make me feel like superior type thing. But there's no way to where it's like you're gonna cheat on every single woman you've been with and you think your man, like you think a man is not your soulmate. Get the fuck out of my face. If he does that, he's probably gay and on the down low. Here's also another common one where he puts his homeboys over you. And I'm not talking about like hanging out with, I don't know. I'm not talking about like hanging out with a guy from time to time, like, but if he like constantly like wants to be with one specific homeboy or like these specific homeboys, and he like plans nights out with them and like just, you know, would rather be like, oh, I have to do this. Sorry. He puts them like over you constantly. And then I'll just finish off with this one. But if he has an attitude worse than you. So like if he's constantly like being sassy, for one, it's like, why are you acting like that? Like you're a man. There's no reason why your attitude should be worse than mine. But if he has like a really bad, sassy, worse attitude than you as a woman, he's probably gay and on the down low. And again, I don't make the rules. This is coming from the gay community. There's a lot of other like examples, clear as day, as to tell if your man is gay or on the down low. So be careful out there. He might be using you as a cover up.
What up, beautiful people? It is your girl, Burr. What's the word? And the word of the day is, baby, I'm about to give you guys some signs to look for dating these men that's on the DL, that's living on the DL, baby. Because living out here in Atlanta through all the years, these are the signs that I picked up on, my love. Number one, a man that's living on the DL cannot stand the sight of a openly gay man. He can't even stand to be in the same room as him, let alone stand next to him, speak to him, walk past him, baby. He cannot. It's just something about an openly gay man that a DL man cannot stand, okay? That means he's been tampered with, baby. How you doing? 3 snaps in a motherfucking circle, bitch. He had it. All right. Okay, number 2. He's always bashing females. He always cannot, he's always criticizing women, always talking about the way you look. He's abusive towards a woman. He's always calling a female out their name. Like, he just cannot stand a sight of a woman just being a woman, if you know what I mean. Because guess what? Believe it or not, gay men actually compliment beautiful women. Beautiful straight women, gay men love us. You know what I mean? They don't hate us. DL men don't like us, okay? So that's another problem in itself. Number 3, he's always hanging around this one particular homeboy, okay? His god brother, godfather, uncle, I don't know. But he's always hanging around this one dude he will call his best friend or god brother or whatever the case may be. Baby, there's more to it than that. You can't say, and even when he get mad, if you ever was to say something slick about that person that he's always hanging around with, that so-called homeboy, and he gets mad, oh baby, they're more than just friends, my love. They're bumping and grinding, that is. Number 4. The 4th one is if he have a group chat with his homeboys. He have a group chat with his homeboys, but he can't FaceTime you. He's always picking up and leaving with his so-called homeboys, but he can't spend no time with you. Child, that's the signs that you really got to look out for, my love. There is more that I have to put down on this list, so you guys, please stay tuned, because, baby, you're going to want to hear the rest of this. I'll see you later. All right, y'all, part 2 about finding out if your man is on the DL or not, my love. All right, so these are the things that I picked up on dating men that was on the DL throughout the years of here being in the ATL, honey. All right, so little girls, I know y'all gonna hate this one, but baby, little girls, stay away from them street thugs. Those are the biggest men that's in the DL community, my love. Them street thugs, but they be the hardest one that's always acting hard and this, that, and the third. Baby, they around the alley bent over. Okay? Stay away from them. Those are not the ones that you want to be around. Those are not the ones that you want to keep around. Okay, my love? And another thing is, if your man can sit around and watch Love and Hip Hop and Atlanta Housewives, baby, real straight men don't do no shit like that. They don't watch Atlanta Housewives and Love and Hip Hop. Like, come on now. Straight men just don't do that. Baby, they like putting on the games and watching games and stuff. They ain't gonna watch nothing what females do. That's a female trait. They ain't gonna do none of that stuff. They ain't gonna sit in the house and hang around like, oh, girl, Love and Hip Hop and Atlanta Housewives is on. They ain't gonna do no shit like that. Okay? So peep game, all right? I'm just saying, though. I know sometimes your husband like to watch them type of shows with their wives, but baby, please, you need to ask a little bit more questions, all right? And another thing, if your man is always arguing with a particular friend all the time, if he's arguing with this one homeboy all the time, baby, they're not just friends, they're in a relationship. They are in a whole full-blooded relationship, my love. You really have to watch out for that. One minute they argue and they falling out, then the next minute they friends again. Nah, a straight man gonna leave you right where you stand. They may not talk to you for like a couple of years or so. You feel me? And another thing before I get up out of here, y'all. If he's sitting on the phone talking to his homeboy all day, he can talk to that man for hours. Baby, you need to clock that T and find out what the hell is going on. Because a real straight dude is not going to be on the phone holding a conversation, because let alone, they don't even like to hold a conversation with the female on the phone with them for hours. So let alone a man. Make it make sense. Alright? Those are the tips that I have for y'all. Ladies, be careful, be aware, because Labor Day weekend, you need to find out where your husband going to be. Because Labor Day weekend, if they coming down to Atlanta, Georgia, it is Black Gay Pride week, okay? Weekend, baby. Go ahead and check his suitcase for dildos, condoms, and lube, baby. Oh, and another thing that I forgot. If he always want to anal, that's another one. If he always want to poke you anal, baby, you better run for the borders, run for the hills, run quick. Alright? Alright, it's your girl, Burr. What's the word? And I love y'all. Self-love is the best love, baby. Peace. Part 3. Alright, if y'all ain't tuned in yet, I'm talking about these men that's on the DL in Atlanta, honey, and I ran past. I got a whole lot of stories to tell y'all, girl, and it's gonna get juicier after this story. So, anywho, she was like, yeah, he's been messing around with my boyfriend's cousin, which is a transgender, and the transgender have HIV. So I'm like, hold on, girl, what the fuck you just say? You know what I'm saying? So she was like, go ask him. So I was like, oh, come on. So we went in the living room, and I was like, Dante, I said, you know them, right? He was like, oh yeah, I didn't even recognize them. Yeah, I know that. What's up? Blah, 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 blah. I said, so my homegirl Nisha was like, man, fuck that shit. Nigga, you messing around with my dude's cousin, was transgender, and he got HIV. What you doing? What, trying to, mess with my homegirl, blah, blah, blah. He was like, man, yada, yada, yada. He was trying to explain himself and all this other stuff. So it's like, I don't give a damn about that, nigga. You gotta get the hell up out my house, for real. So my cousin them coming out the kitchen talking about, what's going on, Byron? What's going on? I said, man, do you know the nerve of this dude? He had the nerve to be in my house and trying to taking me out on dates and all this other stuff, let alone was trying to sleep with me. But I am too strong-minded for all that BS, because I can care less about sex nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You have to protect and watch yourself nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this dude sleeping around with his cousin that have HIV, and he's gay. He's transgender. Look, I don't care what you are, transgender, gay, whatever. Just don't bring that ish up over here. Please don't bring that up over here to me. Let me make that decision and choice. You know what I mean? So we ended up going off on him. He acted like he was about to, you know what I'm saying? Like, still stay around or whatever. So we literally kicked him out my house. His homeboy up there talking about, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I was like, man, ask your homeboy. Y'all probably been giving each other hand jobs on the way to my damn house. What you mean? So I was so pissed off and thrown out about that. But that was just that one of the stories. But I do have more stories. So ladies, please be careful out here and strap up and do whatever. These dudes is like running games, and they're gonna run you around and around and around, honey. But I'll be right back with the next story. All right, then. See you in a second. All right.
Some narcissistic men are on the DL. They're on the down low. They cannot live the lifestyle that they want to live, so they're going to project a different type of lifestyle to those that are looking at them, that are looking from the outside in. On the inside, they're horrible to deal with. They are mean and nasty to their spouses, and that's because they're projecting their hatred for themselves onto everyone else in the family, including the children. They outwardly project their hate onto those that live that lifestyle openly. They act afraid and scared of those that live that lifestyle openly. And they are very critical of those that live that lifestyle openly. And really, all they want is to live that lifestyle openly, but they can't because they see it as a flaw. If you think that this is the case with your spouse, with someone that you know, it could be that they are secretly on the down low. And a lot of narcissistic men will change lanes for supply. It does not matter. They just need to be filled up with whatever they can latch onto that makes them excited. So a lot of them are on the DL.
So he was actually incredibly homophobic. So if we were out and about, he would mutter under his breath whenever he saw anybody that appeared to be gay. He did everything he could to make himself as macho and outwardly masculine as he could. So he was a bodybuilder. He wouldn't wear anything that was a feminine colour like pink or purple. He would belittle our children when we later went on to have children. And in fact, I found this out about him when my child was about 4 months old. But as they grew up, he would belittle the males by saying, you know, even when they were crying at like 3 or 4 years old, he'd be like, stop crying like a little girl and stuff like that. So actually, he rejected his homosexuality or bisexuality or whatever you want to call it. He couldn't accept it at all. He kept it a massive secret, obviously, from everybody, including me. And then after I did find out about it, he kind of implied that by me finding out what he'd been doing, that had healed him and he no longer had those desires, which obviously isn't possible. In this process of finding out what he had done, which I happened across by accident on the computer when autofill filled in an old email address that he had stopped using before we had got married and before we got this certain computer. So I knew something wasn't right, that he would still been using this old email address. And I basically bluffed him into telling me the truth. I said that I'd found loads of stuff on the computer. I rang him at work and I was like, you better tell me everything now, otherwise it's over. So the issue was, he did tell me a lot of the truth to begin with, but it came out in dribs and drabs. So it meant that at the point where I was like, oh, you know, maybe I can trust him again. Maybe I can make this work. I was 18. I had a 4-month-old baby. He'd already isolated me from all my friends and family. So I didn't have any sense of what is normal and what is true. I also had no identity myself because of all my own issues from childhood and teenage years. He had become my world, and therefore it was very scary to me at the thought of giving that up. So in finding this all out, it's where my eyes were open to how massive this issue is. You know, men that are married with children, grandfathers having these secret homosexual lives. It is everywhere. And some of my gay clients openly talk about how much they end up finding out that the people that they get with on these dating apps are actually married with kids and so-called straight.
Ladies, I'm going to give you just a few small signs that your boyfriend or husband is on the down low. Number 1, you catch him staring at men, especially men that most people would consider good looking. You notice he's staring just a little too hard. Okay, you might catch him. He turns his head. That look back, you catch it. Or when he's around openly gay men, he starts to squeeze your hand uncomfortably. Oh yes, he's always with his boys more than he wants to be with you. He's always talking about gay men all the time. You think he's gay? Is such and such gay? Did that seem gay? Oh, you know he gay. He's always talking about gay men. You notice that some of them tend to have a lisp. A lot of them, I don't know why. A lot of them have a lisp. I don't know why. I'm not saying that means that they are. It's just something that I've noticed. But he has a little bit of a twang in his voice. You might catch him switching. Okay? So those are just a few signs. He stares at men. You catch it. He's always talking about gay men. He's very emotional. He catches attitudes. He's always with his boys more than you, claiming he's on trips, hanging with the boys constantly more than you. Those are just a few small signs. This is just part 1.
The difference between a straight man who hooks up with other men and a bisexual man is that bisexual men are attracted to other men, whether it's in the bedroom and or romantically. And so in general, when they're walking around, they're attracted to men as a generalization. Straight men are not attracted to other men, but they're attracted to the act and the action that they can have with men in the bedroom. That's the biggest difference. It's a question that I get all the time from people who want to know, how do you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference. No one, neither can you, can tell the difference. But the men can tell you the difference by who and what they're attracted to. Are there bisexual men that are attracted to just the action in the bedroom? Yes. But they're also attracted to men. Straight men who hook up with other men are not attracted to men in general. It's just the action and that guy in that time.
So Ray, I know you heard about the Alicia Lofton case. Her husband unalived her because she found out that he was on the DL 6 months after they were married.
You know what? I heard what that coward ass dude did. I saw it. And here's the thing. A bunch of females are going through this right now. And they're scared to let that dude go. Because I guess they feel like, well, I got a kid with him and this and that. But you see what happened to this young lady? She found out what this dude did, what he was doing. Went to the restroom, tried to get away from him. He unalived her. A coward ass act. Y'all got to wake up from that. And I know some people right now going through that same stuff. Find out the stuff is in the dude phone. You found it and you're still trying to be with this dude. Dude don't care nothing about your ass. I'm telling you right now. using you, misusing you, and probably abusing you. Get your damn mind together. Stop putting up with dumb stuff. And I'm telling this to a lot of people that's going through that right now. You ain't got to put up with that mess. Somebody real will find your ass. Believe me.
So, Ray,
I hear a lot of people say that male narcs in specific, but narcissists in general, are typically on the DL. It's not so much as a DL thing as it is a perversion thing. Less is insatiable, and the narcissist has no boundaries. This is why I always remind people that these types of individuals need to be watched around children, animals, and vulnerable populations especially. But they are a danger to everyone in general. Like I said, they're not necessarily on the DL as much as they are just perverted out of this world. They're extremely attracted to taboo things because they are numb inside. They need things that are borderline, either sadistic or extremely taboo to even feel anything. They become addicted to these types of behaviors. They love to push limits, and they love to indulge in something that I call the risk factor. So DL is just a small drop in the bucket of what they truly, really are.
This is Caught My Man with a Man and Ain't Been the Same Since Part 2. First, I did Part 1 and it really wasn't any parts. It was just me coming from a place of healing and trying to explain why I just can't seem to trust or love or get close to any man. Like, I can't make it past the talking stage, and I've been celibate going on 2 years. In June of this year, it'll be 2 years. So basically, moving along, people ask me, like hundreds of y'all all said the same question. The question was, what are some things that I let slide or that I didn't notice that I look back and feel like, oh, that was a red flag? The main thing was how he wanted me to lick his nipples for 10 minutes at a time sometimes. Like, he just wanted me to just lick his nipples, like with the tip of my tongue, like how a man would do a girl during foreplay. I didn't really think anything of it because I just really wasn't sexually experienced like that at the time. And I don't know, I just didn't think nothing of it. And then he never got on top any other time we was together. Like, for years of us having sex, he never got on top except once. He never told me, like, yes, you caught me, I'm gay, I like dudes, I've been faking you the whole time. But basically, the closest thing I got to confirmation was the day that we was arguing and I brung up the dude in question that he was messing with. And he had a baby with this girl, and so I had brung up the baby mama, saying, like, your baby mama's, like, successful, you know, she does really well for herself, such and such. And his response was, he got more money than both you bitches. So at that moment, my heart just fell to my chest. Right then and there, I knew, like, yeah. I was like, I knew you was, like, I had already knew, but I didn't, like, because I didn't catch them, like, in the act, but I caught them, though. Like, the only thing I didn't catch was them, like, with their boxers down. But I caught them.
Okay, get ready with me while I tell you how to know if your boyfriend is DL. Because a lot of y'all's boyfriends are DL. Okay, one is if he really prefers to hang out with his homeboys than to hang out with you. Like, it seems like his homeboys are always a priority and you're always number two. And I'm not saying that like it's like that sometimes, no, like when it's always like that, like he always has to bring a homeboy somewhere. Number two is if they're around gay guys and like they feel uncomfortable and they tell you like, oh my god, like I just felt so uncomfortable, like I couldn't even be around him, like I was irritated. Like, no, you were irritated because you liked it because you're gay. He's always talking shit about women, and I'm not saying like making a little comment here and there, no, when he's always saying something about like the way women dress, how they act, yada yada yada, like he's mad because some women are living his dream, they're with men and he wants to be with a man. So yeah, that's another telltale sign. Another one that kind of goes in with the thing I just said, I feel very passionate about women's bodies or what women should do with their body or women's topics. That's a sign of homosexuality, because you shouldn't feel passionate about that because you're not a woman. So where's the passion coming? Huh? A sign is if he makes you go half on the first date or he asks you to pay. He's gay, he likes men, he wants to be with his homeboy. So yeah.
We tend to overlook a lot of red flags, including the ones that may signify that the person we're dealing with may be DL, down low. So this person is responding to a stitch that I had made. I was talking about the first time I realized that my partner was DL. I quickly want to get into these signs I overlooked that you may be seeing too and you may be overlooking as well. Sign number 1, my ex, he had this weird obsession with play. Like, he just wanted to do activities. He would ask me and beg me, and I didn't want to, and he gave me the silent treatment for like a week and a half. Finally, one day I gave in. I ended up doing it, ended up hating it, but he just always liked to do anything, and I was never comfortable because it's not my kink, and I'm cool with kinks, but it just was never my thing. But I always questioned, what man is that obsessed with? The next sign was that he had this weird obsession with asking me questions. He acted like we don't live in New York City where there is people everywhere. It's so accepted here because here there's so much diversity. How the hell could you be born and raised in New York City? He just acted really weird. He just has so many questions. He was always asking about it, and I always thought it was really funny. Another sign was that he would make these weird jokes. I think that I might like men and I want to try certain things. He would keep the joke going and then ask me like, what would you do if that was the case? And I was like, honestly, I can't be married to you if that's the case because I just wouldn't feel comfortable, because then you probably want to cheat on me and be with a man. I accept it, but this is something I should have been new about. And then he would suddenly change his mind. Oh, that was a joke. I just want to see what she was going to say. That was really fucking weird and random. And also another really strange sign to me that I saw, whatever male friend that he had for that moment, the flavor of the year, he was extremely close to that person in a very strange way. He would drop everything just to hang out with them and spend the weekend at their house and completely act as if me and his kids did not exist, or as if we did not have family plans or couple plans. Really weird shit. Yeah, I do think my ex may be DL. And I have more. If you're dealing with or you've ever dealt with a man that you believe is DL, down low, and he's narcissistic, then make sure you click on that comment right there, because it's going to lead you to the video that I made speaking about DL men. Make sure you check my playlist. I actually have experience with this as well. My ex of 18 years I was married to for 13 years, who was definitely a covert narc. He has 8 out of 9 traits in the DSM-5. He had a strange obsession with wanting to put his finger in there, wanting to rub the area when we were doing it. First of all, let me just say, I don't judge anyone in their choices and what they choose to do, the lifestyle, whatever they do in their bedroom. However, I feel like when you're in a relationship with someone, you gotta respect. Respect has to be on both sides. He knew I didn't like this. He knew that I had certain boundaries, and that was like my most strict boundary. I don't like that area being messed with, played with. Don't put your tongue there, your mouth, your hands, your feet, your nothing. While we were having sex, he would try to play with it, rub it, and insert his fingertip, and I hated it. And in the beginning I would address it and tell him, no, please, I don't like that, don't do that, that's turning me off. But then he would get upset and make a big deal about it and be like, oh, you're not a freak, I need a freak, this is why I cheat, because I need a freak. Everything was a thing. Anything I didn't want to do when it came to the bedroom, anything I wasn't comfortable with, I had to keep to myself, because he would get so upset as if I was offending him by me not liking it. I do feel like this is a red flag when it comes to you addressing it and them getting upset. Sometimes they want it done to them too. If they get upset when you say, no, that's not my thing, that's not what I want, then I would say that's a red flag. And I would say maybe there's something that they're hiding that you don't know about. Maybe secretly they want something else or someone else. The biggest red flag for me was the time when my ex asked me if I would ever take a brush and insert it in his exit hole. And I was like, wait, what? Then one day he went and he bought a toy the same color as his and said it was for us to enjoy. And I never really cared for that specific toy, so I was just like, what do you mean it's for us to enjoy? I don't want that shit. One day I went looking in the drawer for it and it was missing. There was just multiple things that my ex showed signs of being DL that I thought was really, really weird, that it's embarrassing for me to even talk about. It feels like I'm completely exposing him on a whole nother level, but fuck it. There was also times where he was really obsessed or wanting to insert himself inside of my exit hole. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm never doing that. That seems so uncomfortable. And he made a big deal about it. This is why I cheat, because you're not a freak, because you don't do this, because you don't do that. I finally decided to give in and give it a try. Absolutely hated it. Would never do it again. I had to deal with him being upset about me not liking it afterwards. It's like, every time I didn't like something or didn't want something, he would get upset. But really, it was a red flag that he may actually want this from a man.